Hello folks, this is Miguel from the Embargo Man channel, and today, and what this topic it is about, we are talking about the Liancourt Rocks. Okay, most likely people have known that these two island rocks located by the Sea of Japan, that I think what it is, where is disputed. This is like a similar case of Argentina losing some isles that actually Britain took from them. You heard of them, Malvinas, or in that case, for that example, for the British, that territory that belongs to Argentina being stolen is called the Falklands, right? This is a similar case to this thing, but this is like one thing for sure. One thing is simple about the Liancourt Rocks is that it has always been considered to be. I mean, it is what is called the Liancourt Rocks. Alright, those two rock islands by the Sea of Japan is like when there's a French fishing whaling ship called the Liancourt has landed in these two rock islands. They have been, whaling in Japan. When they just landed in Japan, I mean, this is just a French ship that has been, landed in that area of Japan, right? The Liancourt Rocks are actually known as Takeshima. So what is this coincidence with these two rock islands? Well, what it is one thing for sure, and one thing that is clever, that these two rock islands were always or have been Japanese territory for a long time. So that by 1951 they signed up the San Francisco Peace Treaty. This peace treaty, it says and reports that the Liancourt Rocks is Japanese territory, and what is considered to be true, and they sign it. But only that in 1952, the Korea has stolen those islands from Japan. And why the reason why we're talking about this? Or I'm just saying, to my point of view, in the Japanese respect of those two rock islands, I know this for a fact that this have been a political mumbo jumbo for a long time. But now with this thing of Abenomics and Japan's plan for the military expansion, I mean getting rid of Article 9 and all that stuff seems very clever. It seems very clever that the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Forces, Japan's Navy, is one of the very powerful navies in Asia, right? You can't compete apples and oranges, but for some reason, they have settled a base in Djibouti. What this base in Djibouti is like they trying to protect from Somali pirates or something like that. That's the case. But talking about all this, all along with the side with this, since my last video that I did about about the high tariffs about USJ Panther, when I say the US-Japan Panama Free Trade Agreement, that's where all this goes. That I will just take it for granted. I will never join activism or these kinds of protests, not even everywhere. I'm saying that I'm Colombian American, but I will never join. I know that for a fact and for sure. I will never join these activists or dancing flash mobs that all be in favor of Korea over the sovereignty of the Liancourt Rocks. In other words, those Dokdo is Korea land campaigns that was going to happen, that is going to spread all over Colombia. For a reason why. The reason why is that I believe there's like some kinds of nonsense, there's some kinds of truth and some kind of bullshit, because one thing or the other, I mean Japan is ready to expansion. I mean, just for that and just for this thing, like Japanese having American F-35s and the latest technology, whatever, is that the point thing is that they might have a ship called Takeshima. I mean, this is all in control. This is where Japan comes to help, and this is where this thing about this thing of base in Panama, and then even a military base, even the Japan's self-defense ground forces being in Panama also, is for one single thing. That one single thing could cross all lines. The first thing they would do is that, I mean, they just gathered together, these Abenomics and the expansion. They might just have somebody else in the UN to say, let's get rid of Article 9 for Japan Article 9, and they got rid of it. Well, that's just one point of factor, and point for the fact is that whatever it is, they might be some secret region between the border of Costa Rica and Nicaragua. Why? I mean, there's just gonna be some small region where they have dig out gold. I think the most of the country with the most gold reserves. That means that whatever they have, or a special region that whatever, this is just one hot topic. This is one thing that is going on with this and the Ortega regime and all that stuff. I mean, Japan is willing to help over there. I mean, this is hot. This is one thing that where it goes around, I mean, there's not gonna be, I don't know how it's gonna be. Probably somebody from representing South Korea, being born in the San Andreas Islands, trying to, utter Japan about, and they just came out that, okay, this is dope, and whatever, whatsoever, or vice versa, or half Japanese, half Nicaragua representing Japan, to going to San Andreas or whatnot. If not, there's one other thing that's supposed to be happening with the Liancourt Rocks. I do believe that what Japan has to do to gain back the Takeshima, is to just when they build out their army, and whatever happens, I'm just gonna show you what is this thing that you notice about it. I'm just not gonna be the one of the people that, oh yeah, do you wanna see what Japan is doing? I don't want to be one of the people that I would say I wanted to say to for Colombia to protect the territory of San Andreas, but I won't accept to join attacking the sovereignty of those two rock islands, the Liancourt Rocks or Takeshima, going against Japan's will. Why? Because let me say it, folks. It is like, put it in the case of my thing. Put it in my watch. Somebody steals something. Somebody steals from me. All right, okay. And it says, and somebody and some guy told me, you know what? You want your stuff back? Please go to that museum and steal them crown jewels, and you get your stuff back. That's how Japan nowadays are going to do to recuperate the Liancourt Rocks, or to gain back what it belongs to them, Takeshima. This is just one thing for notice, that the peace treaty and Korea never have accepted to come to Hague at the International Court of Justice in the Netherlands. This is just one contribution, or if not, there will be something that, I'm going to show you what's the Liancourt Rocks. I'm going to show you what is going on. Rocks. Most likely, it's originally known as Takeshima. So, it has been administered by Japan, and in 1951 with the signing of the San Francisco Peace Treaty. So, what will happen with the that Korea has stolen these islands from Japan. South Korea, that's it. This is Takeshima. That's the original name, Takeshima. That what would happen to this and all this political mumbo jumbo over the Liancourt Rocks, over Takeshima, that what would happen? Japan has expanded its military. They might just expand their Japan self-defense maritime forces and ground forces. They just take down Daniel Ortega in Nicaragua, and probably there's gonna be one thing. For example, even Colombia sides with Korea over these islands to be on them. But let me tell you, what is it and what is it for, and what is these islands for? After Japan took down a dictatorship in a country in Central America called Nicaragua, this is the other island to be disputed, and this is where Colombia and South Korea might just say, let's sign a treaty in Venice. But this island has been under Colombian administration for a long time, since the 1920s, and so it is what it is, right? So this island that has been disputed for years and years and years. This is just a similar case, worst case scenario, that where it goes in, why the reason if Japan could free a country and Colombia sides with Korea in favor of the Liancourt Rocks. And the reason why I said this, because every time that Japan's new role is to free countries, like what happened in Asia, it's gonna come to Latin America. But the San Andres Islands is a beautiful island. It is saying that Colombia's Caribbean and so on, but it's true. I know this is the truth about it, but yes, Nicaragua has claimed for years, and the same thing with Hague, the same thing that happened. Look at it, it's a beautiful island. That the same thing that Japan wanted Korea to come to dispute the Liancourt Rocks. But if that comes, in that case, what's going on that they're gonna come up with a Venice Treaty, and some guy says, oh yeah, look at this. Somebody else came and stepped over Takeshima before a French ship comes. But what is it about somebody and this island that has been over under Colombia's administration? Japan's helping out forming a new government in Nicaragua, and all this in one reason. That has nothing to do with one thing. That has nothing to do. The truth is that the San Andres Islands has always been under Colombia's administration. That is truth, but it has nothing to do with the other case to write a treaty in Venice, Italy, just for the Koreans to steal Spain's gold reserves and hacks and stuff. Yes, you have one of them companies that make your TVs to program to hack on Spain's gold reserve computers. But it has nothing to do with this man. Marco Polo has nothing to do on stepping foot on Takeshima. This Italian settler from Venice has nothing to do whatsoever to land and step foot on Takeshima because it is made up story, and actually this is bullshit. Marco Polo never stepped foot on Takeshima, and it doesn't belong to Korea. Now this comes to a conclusion that this is gonna happen in every city in Colombia, from Bogota all the way to San Andres. The Dokdo's Korea Land dance squad or dance mob, they're gonna do it in Medellin. They're gonna do it all because Japan has took down Daniel Ortega and have formed a new government in Nicaragua. And to the compliment, what Japan wants to gain back Takeshima or the Liancourt Rocks, Colombia has to do that in favor of Korea just to protect San Andres sovereignty and all this stuff. Now this is gonna be, you're gonna see a bunch of videos on YouTube, but like all the Dokdo's Korea Land in Bogota, in Medellin, in every Colombian city you could think of. So this would be the Korean flag in the first Dokdo's Korea Land flash mob in Bogota, Colombia, that when Japan frees Nicaragua. And all this suddenly, this is just the case may be, and that is gonna come pretty soon. Hello there again. So I still think the thing that what is going on, what's gonna go on right now, what's going on. So this is it. I remember when we're gonna go to the Liancourt Rocks thing. Let's go to the Japan point of view. The only reason that they were settling in with this, okay, let's meet ourselves in Hague. Let's go meet, like they were calling Korea. Even if Korea gets united, that I would think of this. This is going to be very crucial. This is the most crucial epidemic event of everything. I have seen so many videos. Of people going in favor of Korea, of those two island rocks, of them Dokdo's Korea Land, because I don't believe that it is not true. It is what it is, favoring the thief. I mean, I'm not gonna favor the thief for anything to what have stolen. All right, I'm not gonna favor that. And you know why? Because for a reason of proof, there is one thing for anything that of course it would be. There would be some kind of thing that I can tell you what. The day that Japan gets Takeshima back, this is what it is. The Japan Marine, the Japan Self-Defense Forces, Marine Self-Defense Force, or the Japanese Navy. It is no match for the Colombian Navy. Put it this way, this is where it goes. It is. The thing with this thing is that their military, for the expansion of these Abenomics and all that stuff, is what was going on. They might just settling for something official. They might heard of one Central American country. You heard of, then we're gonna go to the country that Japan will help when they gain back Takeshima. All right, that would be before they gain back Takeshima. Before Japan gets involved in this stuff, there was this time about Ronald Reagan back in the 1980s, the Contra affair. What would this country has done with the Contra affair? All right. So what it talking about the Sandinistas? What are these people? These are like, communist rebels that work with Russia, right? They just put Nicaragua in settlement under communism. They get Ortega, but Ortega gets out. But then things comes wrong. But then we have the conclusion with Colombia, the San Andres Islands. This is one territorial dispute that the San Andres Islands has always been under Colombia's administration. And this is where I go with this thing, or with the only way that these islands, I mean, what was going on with this and everything nowadays with the Abenomics, and then Japan's forming a new government in Central America, or what would happen? Okay, Japan might gain back Takeshima. That's right, they might gain back Takeshima. But, I mean, would be a treaty, some kind of form of some kind of Colombian scholar going to say, you know what? Marco Polo standing these islands before the French whaling boat came there. You know, what's this going to be? The Marco Polo Islands? This is kind of ridiculous, right? But that treaty is going to be signed, in the Venice Treaty is bullshit. It is bullshit because there is no proof that Marco Polo has been occupied or landed in what the Koreans call Dokdo, or say there's no evidence of Marco Polo standing foot on Takeshima, right? I mean, that is just one kind of bullshit analogy, but that is not 100% bullshit. It is 50% bullshit. The 50% bullshit is that Marco Polo stand there and set foot on what is called Takeshima, or what Koreans call it Dokdo, the Liancourt Rocks, before the Liancourt ship been there. The other half that is true that they say, oh yeah, the San Andreas Islands has been Colombian territory. What is this? What is this kind of thing? What is this kind of thing? For example, this is one thing. The thing that the Japan Marine Forces, Japan self-defense Marine Forces, I mean, they just go and gain back Takeshima, right? But what would be with the Colombian Navy? You know what it's gonna be? That, in other words, that Japan gains back Takeshima, San Andreas Islands gonna be under the administration of Nicaragua, right? That's just how it is with their new government and all that stuff. And Japan hopes to take out Ortega and the Ortega regime and all these assholes in Nicaragua, right? But one thing for real that I might just say this, you know, the thing is, there is going to be, like, you see, those Korea land, all these Liancourt Rock videos in favor, you know, they dance and go, Dokdo is Korea, and they dance and everything. They're gonna be all over, even in San Andreas. Why they should do this? Why they gonna do this kind of those Korea land campaigns? Because this is just nonsense. This is just one tip of the iceberg. That, I mean, at first everybody would, you have a first thing of divided with people who never knew about this. People that knew about Takeshima, they said it's just split between, you know, the Liancourt Rocks decision split between the people who favor Japan and the people who favor Korea. But when that thing happens, if Japan's freed Nicaragua, and that would comes with the Takeshima ship and everything, all of Colombia, people in Colombia would be jumping on the Dokdo bandwagon because of San Andreas, right? There's one only thing of the iceberg that would help save that island. Just one thing. One thing is, I mean, some of you are supporting, or you're buying TVs, or your phones are supporting one of these companies that are going to hack on the security systems of the Federal Reserve Government of Spain, to just hack on there, for stealing their gold reserves, right? That's the only way they're gonna do. Why? I mean, they have done it with Takeshima. They have done it with Takeshima, or with the Liancourt Rocks. They just they go into the reline and stuff. They have done that for years. They have seen everything. They have done everything under the radar. They have done everything under the radar to just, I mean, steal. They stole what it belongs to Japan, and then what they're gonna do, right? What they're gonna do is, I mean, $25,000 for a gold bar, right? They're gonna win the rob $75 million worth of gold bars of Spain's gold reserves. And what they're gonna do? They're gonna split it in half. I mean, the $75 million of gold reserves are gonna end up in Colombia, and that's how tricky it is. Like it says, you know what? Let's go do this. That what they do is this hack on Spain's computer systems. I mean, you already bought them. Your phone or your TV or one of your devices is making the software to hack on Spain's security system that protect their gold reserves, right? And that's just top. And I'm talking about Korea. I'm talking about, yeah, your freaking note is the one that makes the security system that hacks Spain's gold reserve, and they steals all of Spain's gold bars and gold reserves, and they just gonna what they gonna do? And some of them you might make drive, or I might say one of them companies might make a ship, a warship based on American technology, naval technology. Like the American Navy is very, very advanced ships and everything, but that is going to be the one thing just to take down Japan. All right, the only way it is, okay, Takeshima still, or the Liancourt Rocks is still under Korean administration, while Colombia keeps the San Andreas Islands. You know what is this? All this point would be that if it were a movie, I mean, that would be, how do the $75 million be like that? Well, how is the $75 million be split in half? You know, 15, half of the gold bars, 30 will be in Korea, 30 will be in Colombia. For what? I mean, to build a chip, to just stand there, maybe if that treaty in Venice would be written or signed in, maybe the more gold reserves is, maybe Korea will have the more gold reserves than Japan. Why? Because they stolen from Spain. And they stolen from Spain, they hacked the systems, boom, that's it. That's what it is. Korea wins, they have more gold reserve, and gold reserves have worth millions of dollars. Probably. That is just one thing. Who knows? Maybe would be tie hand to hand. Who has the most gold reserves, right? But one thing for sure, that if that day would come, I hope that they don't have anything to involve in Korea, not involving to steal Spain's gold reserves, or let's say the Robin Hood or Robin Moon, that's what I call it. Because one thing I might say for sure, that we need to protect territories, and these things with territorial disputes has happened for years and years to come. What we need to do is to support what Japan does. Support them to protect their island and to gain back Takeshima, even if they have to steal a territory for another country. They have freedom to steal a territory from another country, to give the country that they freedom and everything for Japan's good reasons. I mean, look, if I were like this, if I were somebody could steal my stuff, what else am I gonna do? What I would do, like, hey, I'm gonna put myself as Japan, right? If somebody steal my stuff, all right, I'm gonna go gain back, but I would just go do a heist and help this person do a heist and steal them crown jewels. That's it. I think that's how Japan's gonna gain back Takeshima. At least there is another heist or something like that. You know, I mean, subscribe me to whatever you think about this incident about this Takeshima thing. subscribing to my channel, subscribing on Embargo Man, support me on Patreon. If you think that if they're doing something right, if robbing from Spain just to protect what it is that you think is right, that those islands belongs to Korea just to help Colombia, I mean, okay, you think about, or if you think that Japan has to do what it has to do to gain back Takeshima, it's like this guy have to just gain back his possessions, but he have to go to a jewelry or some museum to steal the crown jewels just to gain the stuff back. Then put that agreement and say that what do you think of this? Is it right for Japan to gain back Takeshima and to steal a territory from another country to give it to another country, or is it right or just settle it in another way? Why? I mean, this is kind of a ridiculous thing that the countries would do. It's just stupid decisions done by countries. Even Japan is going to do that stupid decision. The stupid decision that Japan might do next is just gain back Takeshima, but steal from Colombia. Goodbye and peace out, and see you in the next video on the Embargo Man channel. Bye.